Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the last application of Gauss law. This electric field due to a uniformly charged spherical shell. Consider a sphere with the radius capital R and the amount of charge in the sphere is capital Q. The charge is uniformly distributed in the sphere at the surface. Let us take it is a positively charged sphere. We know that the electric field lines come out of the sphere from each point. Like this, the electric field lines come out of the sphere from all the points. This picture shows how the charges are distributed on the surface of the sphere. Here, the arrow marks represent the direction of electric field lines in the charged sphere. Since the charged sphere has the positive charges, the electric field lines acts radially outwards. From the blue dots also, electric field lines emerge outside. Since the charges are distributed on the surface of the sphere itself, there will be no charge inside the charged spherical shell. Now we are going to take the points at the outside of the sphere, and the second point on the surface of the sphere itself, and the third point inside the sphere. We are going to find the electric field at the three different points in a three different position using the Gauss law. It is the case 1. We are going to find the electric field at a point outside the shell. We are going to take the point P at the outside of the shell, and the distance between point P and the center of the shell is small r. As we have given here, the distance between the point P and center of the shell is greater than the actual radius of the shell. Now take that small r as a radius. We are going to imagine the spherical Gaussian surface. Here we have the spherical Gaussian surface with the radius small r. Actually that r is nothing but a distance between point P where you are going to find the electric field and the center of the sphere, charged sphere. But we have taken that small r as a radius and we have imagined the closed spherical surface. Now it's a Gaussian surface. We are going to find the electric flux in the Gaussian surface. Through that we can find the electric field due to this charged sphere at the point P using the Gauss law. Here I have written the statement of Gauss law. So closed integral of E dot dA that is equal to enclosed charge within a Gaussian surface divided by epsilon naught. Here I have explained that since dot product is used, we can explain that as a E dA cos theta that is equal to charge by epsilon naught. Here theta is nothing but an angle between the normal to the surface element and the electric field. To find the angle, we have to take the area element in a Gaussian surface. Same diagram I have drawn here. So I have taken the area element in a Gaussian surface. So we know that angle theta is an angle between the normal and the electric field lines. Here, what is the direction of the normal? It is perpendicular to dA, so it's acts along this direction. And what is the direction of the electric field? You know that it is positively charged. From this point, it acts along this direction. Here it is the direction of electric field, and here it is the direction of normal to this area element. So both are at the same point, both are at the same direction. So what is the angle? Angle will be equal to 0. So at any point you can take from this point. Here you can imagine the area element. So normal and the same electric field at that point, the electric field both are at the same direction. So all the points, the angle between the electric field and the normal will be equal to 0. Here I am going to apply the value of angle theta. So what is the angle at all the points? Since it is uniformly distributed at all the points, the angle between the electric field and the normal will be equal to 0. So cos 0 is nothing but a 1. So simply you can write closed integral of EdA. Here electric field which is provided by the spherical shell, charged spherical shell is uniform, that cannot be integrated, so it can be taken outside. So E closed integral of EdA that is equal to charge divided by epsilon naught. Here dA is the area element in the Gaussian surface. Suppose you are going to integrate, then you can get the area of entire Gaussian surface. Here we have taken the spherical Gaussian surface, so you have to apply the area of the sphere. If you are going to integrate the dA, you can get the area of the sphere which has the radius small r. So you can apply what is the area for the sphere? 4 pi small r square that is equal to q divided by epsilon naught. So here 4 pi r square that is equal to q by epsilon naught. From there you can find the value of the electric field. E that is equal to 4 pi r square is taken to other side, 1 by 4 pi r square q by epsilon naught. It can be rewritten as E that is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is taken here, r square is taken to that side, so q by r square. Here I have written the expression for the electric field which is provided by the charged spherical shell at the particular point P which is outside. This expression is similar to the expression for the electric field which is provided by the point charge at the particular point P. This shows the charges which are at the surface of the spherical shell is concentrated at the point that's nothing but the center of the shell. If the charge in a spherical shell is greater than 0, that means positive charge, then the electric field acts radially outwards. If the charge less than 0, that means negative charges, the electric field will act radially inwards. It is a case 2. We are going to find the electric field at a point on the surface of the spherical shell itself. In the last case, we have taken the point P at the outside of the shell. Now the same point P is on the surface of the shell itself. Now the distance between the point P and the center of the shell, that is small r, is equal to the radius of the spherical shell. So small r, that is equal to capital R. So no more calculation here. Let us take the first case, the electric field at a point outside the spherical shell. What we have get E, that is equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught q by small r square. That's the expression for electric field in case 1. Now the small r, that is equal to capital R. So you can substitute, instead of small r, you can substitute the capital R. So E vector, that is equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught q by capital R square into unit vector. This expression for the electric field at a point on the surface of the charged spherical shell itself. Now we are going to find the electric field at a point inside the shell. So we have taken the point P inside the shell. The distance between point P and the center of the sphere is small r. In this case, small r is lesser than the capital R, that is radius of the spherical shell. Now we have imagined the gas surface with the radius small r. By using the Gauss law only, we are going to find the electric field at the point P, which is inside the shell now. So I have written the Gauss law. Close to integral E dot dA, that is equal to q by epsilon naught. At the left side, same procedure can be done. What we have done in both the cases, that can be done here. At the right side, we have to substitute the value of q. But remember, we have told already the charges are distributed uniformly at the surface of the shell itself, and the electric field lines acts radially outwards like this. So there will be no electric field line and electric flux inside the shell. So there will be no charge inside the shell. So for the gas surface, at the gas surface there will be no charge. Here in this case, q, that is equal to 0. There will be no more charge. So q, that is equal to 0. Right side will be equal to 0. E 4 pi r square, that is equal to 0. Then what is the value of electric field inside the shell? That is equal to 0. So there will be no electric field inside the charged sphere. From the three cases, we can understand the electric field which is given by the charged spherical shell is depends on the distance. Here I have written the expression E, that is equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught q by r square. This shows the electric field is inversely proportional to square of the distance. This graph will help you to understand the relation between the distance and the electric field. Here I am going to keep the point at the center of the sphere. According to third case, there will be no electric field inside the sphere. E, that is equal to 0 here. Now I am going to increase the distance, but that is within a sphere itself. Up to this length there will be no electric field, because the point within a shell itself there is no electric field. Now I am going to take the point outside of the shell. Distance increases, and outside of the shell on the surface there is a maximum electric field. Now the distance is increases, but what about the electric field? Gradually this reduces. According to this expression, it gradually reduces.